Welcome back. This is the second video for putting together your mala. So at this point you should have strung all 108 beads and your mala should look something like this. So in the first video I told you to go ahead and grab some tweezers and scissors for the second video. We will need those in just a couple minutes. So if you don't have those, please pause and go ahead and grab those. You should have also set aside your guru bead and your tassel. So that's what we will be putting on in this video. We're going to start with our guru bead, so go ahead and take that out of the baggie. We'll set your baggie aside. And your mala, like we explained in the first video, has a side with two tails, and then the side you were putting the beads on that has your beading needle. We're going to start your guru bead on the side with the two little tails. So you'll go ahead and slide your guru bead onto the string, and it can slide all the way down to that very first bead you put on. And then the needle side of your thread is going to go on through the top of your guru bead. So not where the tails are coming out, but up by that first bead. And we'll go ahead and slide that string all the way through. So we'll pull this nice and tight, and for the next couple steps you will also want to have a partner to work with. It's easiest to tie these finishing knots both on your guru bead and a tassel with the partner. So we're going to tie just two simple knots like the first step of tying your shoelaces. So once you've snugged that bead right up against the first two, you'll go ahead and tie one knot. You'll have your partner put their finger right there and just kind of pinch the bead and the knot, and we'll tie a second knot. So different knots from what we were tying before. This is just a square knot. So with that knot nice and tight, we'll go ahead and start on our tassel. So your tassel has two parts to it. This piece on top is going to be what wraps around your tassel. So you should have a little loop of string. We'll go ahead and set that aside for now. And then go ahead and slide the tie off of your tassel, and we'll also set that aside. And you want to find about the middle of your tassel, and that's what's going to go right on this knot you just created. So I'm going to set the middle of my tassel right on the knot, and this is where I'll ask my partner for help again. So I'm going to be holding on to my strings. My partner is going to be holding on to the tassel and the mala. Perfect. And I'm going to do the same thing, just two knots. Partner's going to put their finger there. Perfect. Thank you. We'll do another knot. Go ahead and let go. Please will you hold on to the tassel or the bead for one more time. And I actually like to do a third knot on this one. Awesome. So my partner was holding my mala and my tassel while I tied the knots. One more step that we'll need the partner's help for is we're going to flip your mala over. We'll pull your tassel down, and you can start to see your mala coming together. So the last step of your tassel, if you've seen tassels on malas in the past, they've got some string that wraps around the tassel to keep it all in one piece, and that'll be the last step. So I'm going to set this aside for now. The string you just set aside, we're going to unwrap. So it will just be one long piece of string. That's a string that you are going to be working with. We're going to ask your partner for help holding both the tassel and your mala. So you'll notice on mine, I chose a tassel that's different colors than my string, so I really want to hide my string in here. So hang your tassel down, hide your string. You may need to hide that knot you just created. And once you're feeling pretty good about where your tassel's at, your partner is going to grab the edge of your tassel as well as your mala. And we're going to put the little tie right in there. So you notice your string is pretty long. You may or may not use all of it. It just depends on how thick you want your tie. But we're going to keep one side of the string long and one side pretty short. We're only going to wrap it from one side. And you'll notice this whole video is all the same type of knots. So just simple knot, like the first step of your shoelaces. We're gonna pull a long piece through, keep one piece short, probably 3-4 inches. So we'll tie a knot. And you want to pull it really tight because you don't want your little wrap here to move. And so you'll see I have 2 sides of my tassel wrap. I'm going to hand the short side to my partner. He's just going to hold it with the tassel. And I'm just going to start wrapping. And we're going to wrap down the tassel. And it's good to overlap a little bit and pull pretty tight. Tight enough that it's not going to slide. So you'll just start wrapping down your tassel, going towards the bottom. And you can go as far down as you'd like. There's no right or wrong answer. It's really just what you want it to look like. So I'm going to do just a few more little wraps here. And each time I wrap this around, I'm going and pulling it tight so that this string is nice and secure. All right, so once you've finished your wrap and you have it looking how you want, we want the wrapping string to be at the bottom of the little wrap you just created. I'm going to take this short string back for my friend, and we're going to do the same thing. Can we turn it a little? Perfect. Just an easy knot, pull it tight. And an easy knot. So we did the same type of knots under the guru bead, under the tassel, the top of the wrap, and the bottom of the wrap. Now, we want this one pulled really tight as you can get that. And we'll take our scissors, and I'm going to trim off the edge of it, and you'll notice I still have a little bit left from the wrap string. So that's what your tweezers are for. And you can take beading tweezers like this or just your regular tweezers that you use, like daily tweezers. And we're just going to use the tweezers to help push that little knot you created up into the wrap. Depending on how tight you wrap this, it might be a little difficult. Apparently I wrapped this one tight. Okay, there we go. So we want to hide the knot. That both hides it and makes it look a little cleaner, but it also keeps the knot safe so it doesn't come undone. So then you won't be able to see your knot. And then the very last step, we've got some strings to trim, and then we probably want to trim the tassel so it's all one length. So I like to open the tassel back up. The choice is entirely yours. You can trim these strings to be the same length of your tassel so you see them, or you can cut them short. Since I did mine a different color, I'm going to cut it short so that we can't see them. You can keep your beading needle or throw it away, but it is reusable. Go ahead and pull the tassel back down, and we want to get all the pieces of the tassel as close to one solid piece as possible. And then I'm going to, one last time, have my partner hold the mala, and he's just going to gently pull on it while I gently pull on the tassel to keep it nice and straight. And again, you can cut your tassel as long or as short as you want. I like them a little bit longer, so I pinch all the way down at the very bottom of the tassel, and you'll just cut one straight line across the bottom. And then it's done. And then the last step, once it's done, is you'll notice mine's all crinkly. Yours may or may not look like that, but if it does, you can go ahead and gently, just like we stretched the string at the very first step of the video, you can stretch the string again to help loosen up the knots a little bit so it lays a little more flat when you wear it. So you have made your own mala now. For information on how to set an intention for it and infuse it with your intention and your energy, you can visit the link that I sent you in your Etsy order, and it'll walk you through that process.